Captain's Log, Stardate 3924-3.
Hello everybody, here we are back in the lab, and I'm joined here by KJ Karvonen, who is a movie prop collector and maker.
Yeah.
Loves the explosions.
Yes, I've done a few in my time.
So tell me about yourself. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I started building props when I was about 12 years old. I did it professionally in the 80s, and I retired from it in the 90s and got a regular job. But I've continued to do some professional work, especially since I retired 2 years ago.
What are some of the movie and TV props in your collection?
Well, here's some examples here. They range all the way from period pieces. For example, this is a revolver and holster that they used in The Dead and the Damned when I did props for, this was a Western made 2 years ago. And down here, we have a Cyberman head, which was used in the British television show Doctor Who in the 80s and 90s. This is an original piece that came from England. And here is a cyborg head, which I built for the promotional production of Appleseed, which is a Japanese television series and movie series. I have a lot of costumes and props that are good for period pieces and were used in famous period movies. For example, I have a Maid Marian's gown, which was used in the original Robin Hood with Errol Flynn, and that ranges all the way through. For example, I have Norman Saint-Sauvage's costume, which was used in the Get Smart movie, The Nude Bomb, which came out in 1979.
As a prop collector, do you have many military weapons and armaments? And
well,
are you packing heat now?
No. I don't have any actual working operative weapons. The weapons that you might see in the video or that I have for making films are all props, which either are rigged to appear to work or they've been completely deactivated and they're completely unable to be used to hurt someone. So that's an important point. But again, I have a lot of these props because one of the things that you often get called on to do as a prop person is to do weapons, because when you have an action film or a television show or even a crime drama, at some point a weapon falls into it, and weapons aren't something you can just go down to the supermarket and buy.
No, you have to go down to Big 5.
Yes, you have to go down to Big 5 to get them.
Look at that, that's a Big 5 right there.
And that's a big 37 actually.
37, wow.
Yeah.
With a bullet. And do you have any military vehicles?
Well, actually, you know, some people would consider vehicle props, but besides collecting props, one of the things I do is collect a militaria, and I have 3 working operative military vehicles that range from current issue modern to World War II. And a lot of them have been used in movies too. In fact, all of them have been.
And word has it that you actually have an authentic costume from the Scott Bakula?
Well, I have quite a few costume and wardrobe items that were left over from when Star Trek wrapped, including Star Trek Enterprise. And I actually have 2 of Scott Bakula's screen-used Captain Archer uniforms, as well as Klingon uniforms. I also have quite a lot of wardrobe and props left over from the Stargate series. For example, what I'm wearing right now is David Hewlett's uniform left over from Stargate Atlantis, and this is the original screen-worn costume he wore as Dr. Rodney McKay.
And I'm sure that many of the children of the night at home, the filmmakers who make the horror movies, are wondering, do you rent out your props?
Well, I'm not specifically in business as a prop rental service. I do get hired often to provide props for people's productions, and a lot of the times I will lend out props or serve as a prop person just for an exchange of favors. Technically, I'm currently retired, so if I find the project interesting, I'm always happy to help.
How the people at home can find you on the internet?
Well, actually, you can try emailing me. My email is my last name, which is Karvonen, Karvonen @comcast.net. And I'm also part of a production group who make hobby films on Facebook, which is called Base Zero Wing. And so if you want to contact me through them, you can do that too.
So there you go, folks. Go to the face plant and find this guy, huh?